Welcome to the second lesson in Module 4, Taking Action on Who We Want to Be. In this lesson, you'll take all that you have learned to date to develop a plan for a person who wants to find meaningful employment. Using your workbook to record your responses, what person-centered discovery tools can you use to help Robert identify a potential vision for future employment? Take a moment to review the scenario and pause the video to record your responses in your workbook. Great. So some tools you can use include important 2 and 4, good day, bad day, routines and rituals to identify peak performance time throughout the day or evening, a relationship map to highlight natural support networks. You could also use a matching tool to identify supports and skills needed and different personalities that may or may not work well for the person. You can also use a communication chart to identify communication and supports on the job, as well as a learning log to use during job shadowing. Lots and lots of tools that you can use to help Robert reach his employment goals. So let's go on to the next step now. What open ended questions could you ask Robert to better understand his interest? Again, take a moment, pause the video, go to your workbook, and jot down some thoughts. Wonderful. So that's good. So some open-ended questions could include things like, what did you like most about working as an art teacher? What kind of art do you enjoy most? If you could have any job, what would it be? Do you like working alone or with people? What is important to you about this work? Or what type of training might help you achieve your goal? Are there jobs you do not want to do? And finally, maybe is there something that worries you about getting a job? All of these are example open-ended questions that you could use when talking with Robert to better understand his interest. Factors that affect whether a person is ready for work includes the severity of their brain injury, things that are now difficult to do, the type of work that they used to do, and the supports they have in place. It's common to have unrealistic expectations about being ready for work. However, Robert seems to have a pretty good expectation about what's possible and not possible. What are some steps that you can help Robert take to explore his options? Again, pause the video, use your workbook to jot down your ideas. Really good work. So let's see what else we can do to help Robert. So you help Robert to explore his options and you learned that there is a studio about 15 minutes from his house. Sherry, who's Robert's wife, she agrees to take Robert to the class since Robert is unable to drive. When Robert gets to the studio, he runs into an old high school friend. His friend actually owns the studio. After Robert goes through the class, his friend asks if he would like or would be willing to help teach a class. Robert shares with you that he's worried that too many classes may tire him out. Plus, he says he's unsure if he can actually teach a class and keep people safe. What if he makes a mistake and someone gets hurt? Sherry, his wife, reassures him, but Robert kind of finally agrees to give it a try. So your role now is to take your workbook, pause the video, and draft up at least one goal for Robert that could go into his person-centered plan. Insert that goal in your workbook and don't forget to draft up a SMART goal: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So pause the video and go to your workbook. Give it a shot. That's great. So now, what happens in follow up after Robert takes action? 2 weeks later, you reach out to Robert to see how things are going. You learn that he taught his first class. He actually loved it. He agrees to teach one class per week as a starting point. You congratulate him and you tell him that you will check in with him in a couple of weeks. How do you plan to help Robert monitor his goal? What person centered tools can you use to help Robert continue to advance on his vision for employment? Use the space in the workbook, pause the video, and take a moment to jot down your ideas on how you're going to monitor and help Robert monitor his own goal. Congratulations. Good work on the second scenario. You did an excellent job helping Robert. In the final lesson, we're going to go over some tips, tools, and resources so that you can continue your journey to person centered practices.